How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Let me park first and show you something. You're not going to believe this, man. In front of us is the most legendary shop in the history of Italian football, the flipping Autogrill. Autogrill should do something for the Ultras, you know? I mean, there is literally no better advertising than what the Ultras are doing for this chain. Every week or every other week you hear Ultras fight on the Autogrill here, Ultras fight in the Autogrill there. It's flipping phenomenal, man. Oh, look at this Sicilian ship. Can you flipping believe where people build their villages, man? I mean, look at this mountain here. Welcome to the lovely village of Savoca. Behind me is Bar Vitelli. Look at this, man. It was right over there that Al Pacino was sitting, drinking his grappa or something, when he met his second wife.
My name is Michael Corleone. I want to meet your daughter.
You know, the one that exploded. Bar Vitelli is unfortunately closed. So we cannot drink our grappa and potentially meet an explosive Sicilian wife. Welcome, everybody, to the video on Catania. Let's go. We still have about half an hour drive. I'll be damned, man. What was it that we said? 30 minutes? Another half an hour? I did a fucking hour and a half. Look at this guy. Look at this cigarette. All class. Some flipping amazing murals from Catania. I hate Roma and Palermo. And this is probably the most famous guy, right, from Catania, Ciccio Famoso. Remember when we were in Palermo, there is this historical leader of the Palermo Ultras, Toto Rambo. The equivalent to that guy is Ciccio Famoso. He established the group called Falange d'Assalto. It was essentially the first ultra group of the team. To be fair, having a ticket for tomorrow's game, I'm not exactly stressed to get in the stadium now, but let's make a round, you never know. As a matter of fact, there is this interview by Toto Rambo before he died, commenting that if there was one person he would like to meet is this guy here, Ciccio Famoso. Ciccio died a little bit a couple of years earlier than Toto. This street is called Filippo Raciti. It's essentially because of the events of the derby between Catania and Palermo of 2007 that the Italian Ultras had to face right after all this repression, you know. Check out this beauty, man. We haven't eaten all day. So this thing has zucchine. Bloody hell, I don't remember the word in English, but it's a glorious product of the Catanian street food. So here's the thing, right? There were massive incidents after that derby, which Palermo won, by the way, with 2 goals, man. That, I mean, none of them should have counted. But anyway, the reason for the incidents was not the 2 goals that should not have counted. So here's what happened, right? The police have an entire plan to transport the Palermo Ultras till this year's stadium, and at the same time avoid incidents with the local ultras. The drivers of the Palermo fans' buses actually lost their way. The Palermo fans entered the stadium 10 minutes after the beginning of the second half, and because of that, there were really high levels of irritation. When Palermo fans entered the stadium, there were already incidents between them and the police. Catania fans responded immediately. They started throwing flares at the Palermo fans. I tell you what, man, this lot here are very strict. I couldn't even make a single step and they stopped me. Anyway, so here's the thing, right? The police make an entire operation in order to stop incidents from happening. Because of the idiocy of that operation, incidents did happen inside and outside of the stadium. The police had the unique idea to delay Palermo until the 10th minute of the second half. Like, who does that? You realize the frustration of the Palermo ultras. And on top of everything, also the police had the other unique idea to start throwing tear gas. You throw tear gas against fans outside of the stadium, and all that gas, went in, right? The referee stopped the game for about 40, 50 minutes. It did continue and it did end in a pretty idiotic manner, if you ask me. And then, outside of the stadium, the Catania fans were really pissed off about everything, about the delay, about the fact that their team received 2 goals that none of them should have stood. In this chaos that followed, a policeman was killed, Filippo Raciti. The street we were before got named after him to honor his memory. Underage Antonio Speziale was arrested and the blame fell onto his shoulders. But what I want to say is this: you make an entire operation to essentially, with your actions, create the settings for this chaos to happen, you know? It's incredible how the lack of capability, you know, the lack of intelligence to simply create safe conditions for a flipping derby to take place, you know. When we were in Bergamo, we discussed about the reaction of the ultras of Atalanta. Bloody hell, what's going on here? There's even hair in there. Okay, let's and a piece of cat. When we were in Bergamo, we discussed about the reaction of the ultras of Atalanta when they found out that Gabriele Sandri, the Lazio fan, was shot and killed by the Italian police. And by shot and killed, I mean that. I mean, it was like a sniper shot, right? That killed the guy inside the car where he was sitting. And the reason why Atalanta did that was because they wanted death to be equal for everybody, you know? The same way that the Italian society and the state mourned the death of Filippo Raciti, they demanded the same mourning, let's call it, for the death of a football supporter, you know? Anyway, 2 years after this incident, the Tessera del Tifoso came, the fan card, and the entire circle of repression that still takes place today in Italy started. That year, by the way, remember that both teams were fighting for the Champions League places. After what happened here, Catania collapsed. I mean, they were lucky to avoid relegation. They avoided relegation in the last game. The Tessera del Tifoso came a couple of years later. It was a step of a very long process of measures against violence. One has to wonder if this violence would even take place if the procedures to accompany the visiting funds and to somehow restrict the locals would be slightly more intelligent, let's call it. Yeah, weird stuff, isn't it? It's so interesting, man, how on edge the people in the Catania stadium were. I didn't film their reaction because I actually spotted a little bit of there is a certain vibe at times, They did take my photo though, which was cool. Since we are here and not at home, let's visit the city. Look at Garibaldi, man, once again in our lives. In front of me is Santa Agata. She is the patron saint of Catania. When the derby against Palermo should have happened, was actually exactly the day of the celebration of Santa Agata. So they moved it from the Sunday, the Santa Agata Sunday, to a flipping Friday. This is exactly what that letter A symbolizes, the name of Agata. Flipping hell, man, look at these umbrellas, man. They are in a disastrous state. Catania is yet another city founded by my fellow ancient Greeks. As a matter of fact, the Greeks founded a nearby city called Naxos, like the island. And those people came over and founded Catania back in the 700s BCE. I don't remember the year. Now, regarding the elephant. The elephant is Uliotru, as the locals call it, and it takes this name from Heliodorus, which has the fame of an ancient sorcerer. As a matter of fact, he is said to have carved that elephant from the lava of Etna. And because of this, the local Catanians use the elephant as their talisman to tame Etna so that it doesn't destroy the city. I tell you what though, what did need to be tamed and was not, was the earthquake of the 1600s, man, because it destroyed the city. And because of that earthquake, the city needed to be rebuilt. And hence, we enjoy this wonderful architecture in the main streets of the city, that very peculiar Sicilian Baroque architecture. If you ask me though, the elephant corresponds a lot more to the... do you remember, where was this museum? I think it was in Syracuse. The Archaeological Museum of Syracuse had the skeletons of ancient elephants. And these dwarf elephants apparently used to live in Sicily at some point in history or prehistory, I guess. Look at these black stones, man. These are directly from Etna, right? Check out the flipping Aragonese flag, man. Unbelievable. This is not something I expected to see. Remember, the Aragonese were not exactly the best rulers of Sicily. Check this out, the black rock from Etna. They actually use it to build houses here. I tell you what, man, there is a certain degree of roughness in this here city. Right, so what kind of vibe are you guys getting from this man? I mean, I'm not entirely sure what to make of Catania thus far. There are certainly stuff to be discovered, aren't they? I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. It's a pity that we don't have, that we didn't actually have time. Initially, I should have 3 full days here instead of this barely one that I now have. So this will probably be a simple football vlog without many of the wonderful stories that we used to consume ourselves in. Can you believe that this ancient Roman theater, man, would feed 15,000 spectators? Doesn't really look like it, does it? Hey, good morning. So let me show you this. The car is the grey one, but look at the white one. Look what this guy decided to do, to park. All right, man, how are we doing? Off we go. Catania Cosenza. Which Cosenza, by the way, is also a team that I find very interesting. So look at this. Also Catania remembers all the victims of the mafia. Look at this phenomenal wall. And they have an incredible rendition of the Red Book of Borsellino. I tell you what, man, that pizza, it took ages. We are in.
Con l'entrata in vigore della legge 20 agosto 2001 numero 336 sono previste anche pesanti territoriali di sessioni comunque. amanti del vulcano, grazie per essere stati con noi. Ora e sempre, forza Catania!
What do we think about the game, man? So here's the thing, right? Catania has two curvas. Each curva sing a different song, I mean, that's a bit weird, but they are not the only ones who do that, man. It happens in Napoli, it happens in many places. Unfortunately, during the halftime, there was an announcement which lasted, I think, 2.5 minutes. Imagine that, 2.5 minutes announcement of all the things fans are allowed to do and not do in the stadium.
Catania Football Club, in ottemperanza a esigenze, strumenti ed oggetti idonei a offendere, disegni, scritte, simboli, emblemi o simili, recanti espressioni oscene.
Why on earth is an announcement like that needed, man? During the entire announcement, man, I was thinking about the DASPO system in Italy, you know? So the DASPO system is essentially all the punishments that have to do with football violence. The DASPO system is not new. I think it entered the European scene after Hazel, but I'm not sure about that. After the incidents of the derby, Catania and Palermo of 2007, some pretty spectacular things happened in Italy, man. First of all, the DASPO became much longer. I mean, the punishments became longer. And not only that, but they expanded also to minors. I think to everybody above the age of 14. But what also changed after that flipping derby was the preventive DASPO. This is beyond words. You see, the preventive DASPO means that the judge can give you a ban as a preventive measure, you know? I mean, they can suspect that you are about to do something evil and give you a ban. Essentially, you are guilty until proven innocent, you know? Which in many cases never happens, you know? I don't know what to say about this. This is Italy, I guess. So having looked at the standings, I proceeded and asked a couple of people who were way too happy about the victory to explain the details to me about how it works. So there are 3 rounds of Serie C, right? Where Catania is. The first team of that table gets an automatic promotion. They go to Serie B, actually. Now, what happens with the rest of them is an absolute chaos. So here's Benevento and Catania, right? Salernitana, for example. Remember Salernitana? We saw them last year in the summer against Samp. So Salernitana is 3rd. The first team qualifies automatically. The second and the third one, so in this case Catania and Salernitana, will play at the playoffs for promotion, but at a later round. And then there is absolute chaos, because starting from the 4th team till the 10th, currently Cosenza is number 5. God does not want you to learn about the rules of promotion in Italy. So check this out. All the teams from the 4th position till the 10th, they will participate also in the playoffs, but at earlier stages. Oh wow, we have chance for coffee. Ciao, possibile un espresso doppio, un caffè doppio? Cheers. So picture this out, right? There are 3 rounds of Serie C. The first team of each round qualifies automatically. And then the following 9, so 3 times 9, take part in a mayhem called playoffs in order for only one of them to qualify, man. And it's not only these 27, it's also the teams, or team, I don't remember how that works. There is a special cup for Serie C, right? I think the winner of that cup also has some benefits. Flipping hell. If any of you is not lazy, please write it down in the comments how this works. And I have to mention this, man. I can't help but imagine, for example, a team like Sampdoria. Remember the whole mayhem from last year? Participating in this thing. Alright then, so that would be all from Catania, and that would be all from Sicily, man. I tell you what, if you ever visit Sicily, first of all, take your time. Second of all, come in the winter. I mean, you will be practically alone. Alone meaning without many other tourists. Enjoying the place, you know? Provided that no hurricane or storm will come and destroy your visions. See you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.